Well, thank you for having me. My name is Diana Alzaid. I work for PNC Bank. I've worked here for about 6.5 years. I've always worked in recruiting with PNC, and now I lead our diversity recruiting team. It started for me because I originally thought about getting into counseling. I had always kind of teetered between counseling and HR. They're different, and in a way, they're sort of similar. And I really kind of fell into recruiting. So as I continued throughout my career, I should say my academic career, I then realized that I wanted to go down the path of HR. I just wasn't sure what I wanted to do within HR. So I took an internship, and then I fell into recruiting. And it's kind of like the stars aligned, and it just fits so well with my personality, just the things that I was really passionate about, and I love the connection to talent. And so I've really been able to grow my career supporting talent acquisition in different industries over the last 10 years. And like I said, it kind of just fell together, but then when it did, it made sense. So the one thing I would highlight here is that for the last 2 years, I've been a part of our HR Diversity and Inclusion Council at PNC. So at PNC, we have diversity and inclusion councils that are either within the line of business, or we also have regional councils. We also have EBRGs, and so we have a council within HR, which is a team of about 30 individuals. And I joined in 2019, and I was able to lead one of our committees. And through that, I've been able to lead various initiatives that support diversity and inclusion specifically to HR. But also too for the organization. And so it's through that leadership that I've been able to really put together my interests of diversity and inclusion, being a leader, some of the skills I gained as a recruiter and in talent acquisition, and I continue to serve as a member of the council. Be really intentional about what it is that you want to get out of that relationship, because as a mentor, we're getting to know the mentee for the first time, and we don't know their story. We don't know what their background is. So really thinking through what is it that you want to get out of this relationship, and bringing that to an early conversation so that the mentor really has this great picture in terms of how they can support you throughout the mentorship relationship. I would say be intentional, and have some structure too, right? Because the time is so valuable, I think, for both individuals. And when you're working with a professional, their time is even more valuable, right? Because they are managing so much in a given week, in a given day. And so to have structure around what you're looking for, having really great follow-up, really great communication, I think is important and part of the mentorship program. Wish somebody would have told me to be fearless, because as I think back to being a student, there were things that I didn't do that I wish I would have done because I was nervous or I was scared, and I was really afraid of stepping out of my comfort zone. And it took me years to really step out of it and get a lot more comfortable with myself. And I just wish I would have really realized that that moment in time when you are a student is so short. And, I think about things that I wanted to do, like I wish I would have studied abroad. And as an adult and after graduation, I traveled a lot. And so I got that fixed, but I still regret that I didn't do it. And I think I just didn't do it out of fear, out of not knowing a language, out of being afraid to leave my family and my friends and what I was so used to and comfortable with. I think about maybe not taking advantage of like internship opportunities that I could have, or even different type of like mentorship programs that I could have been more involved in. I think that is what I wish somebody would have told me, is to be more intentional and to really just act more fearlessly. So I found out about the mentorship program at this point, maybe it was 3 years ago. And I signed up, I joined, I went through one of the trainings, and I didn't hear anything for a while. And then, and I had really signed up because I thought about myself, and I was like, well, I'd love to network with somebody within the region. And then I thought about what I could really give back to somebody. So being a recruiter for 10 years, and then I was recruiting specifically for the HR organization at PNC. And And I became so much more of a like career coach and counselor and advisor at times than I had ever had before. And so I wanted to give that back to somebody else. But the thing is that a mentorship is not just about giving, because you get something out of it as well. And I knew that meeting somebody new and having that opportunity to network with somebody and learning about their story and their experience would be impactful for me. So I had signed up a few years ago, and then it was probably about a year after that that I was matched with my mentee, Caitlin. And so then our relationship started. I would look at it twofold. So I think for one, for somebody that wants to be a mentor, it's about identifying what your strengths are and what you feel that you could give to somebody else, right? And so for me, I thought about myself, and I thought about myself as a recruiter. I thought about myself as somebody who has navigated their career at PNC and continues to do so. And I thought about what it is that I could give back to somebody, and that was really that career advice and that career counseling. And I felt that that would be very advantageous to somebody who is a student. You know, that is definitely not something I had as a student. And it took me a couple of years after I graduated to sort of navigate my own career. And that part of my life in retrospect was very hard, because you are figuring it out and sometimes you don't know what you're doing and you're making mistakes along the way. And I just wanted to really kind of be there for somebody as they were going through that process. I think, you know, the one thing I would say is that it's a fulfilling opportunity and it doesn't take that much time. It's so easy to fit into your schedule. And I think that, you know, Caitlin made it easy because Caitlin was structured and Caitlin had really great topics to bring. And so it made our conversation go so fast. And so it's a small thing that you can do as a part of your day, as a part of your month. I mean, Caitlin and I met once a month for usually about 30 minutes. And there were times that we would connect in between by email, but you know, it's not something that you're committing, you know, 5 hours a month to. And I think that for that small opportunity to connect, it's a very valuable experience.